Today we are diving into the world of Instagram models and we are recreating a makeup look which I see a lot of Instagram models wearing. It's just a really on-trend makeup look at the moment. It's a really subtle, soft glam. It's really pretty, really sultry, soft smoky eyes and a flawless glowing base, and it's just so pretty. All my clients are asking for it at the moment and I absolutely love creating it. I love wearing it myself as well. I would use all drugstore and affordable makeup again for this video, so I really hope you like it. If you do like this video, like this makeup and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe. And if you want to see how we created this whole Instagram model makeup, then keep watching. I have already done my eyebrows as usual because we don't want this to be like a half an hour video. So I've used the NYX micro brow pencil, which I use all the time. I've just brushed the hairs like upwards and filled them in rather than like drawing a natural shape to them, and then with some clear brow gel I've just really combed them up so they're all nice and fluffy. So I am going to do my eyes first as usual, so when I put my lashes on they've got a chance to dry. I am going to use the P. Louise base as my primer because this is my absolute favourite and it's not super expensive and it lasts me for so long as well. So to apply this I'm just using a flat like domed brush. It says it's a shading brush from So Eco, but I wouldn't ever use this for shading. It's more of a concealer brush in my eyes. So I'm just going sort of underneath my brow. I don't want them super carved out, just want like a nice blank canvas. You can also use a concealer to do this part as well. And I also like to bring some right into this very inner corner as well because I'm always super dark there. So for eyes, I am for once going to keep them all matte today. I'm going to do like a really soft brown, like sultry, smoky eye. What I've been doing quite recently and I really like it. When I'm doing this on clients, I quite often just use bronzers for this and it looks really pretty, but I don't have a lot of different shades of bronzers with me at the moment, so I'm going to just use the Jaclyn Hill palette. Any sort of soft browns, like nice bronzers, will work absolutely fine. I am going to first use this one right there. I don't know the names to this because it never came with the palette, so it's just that one right there. And I'm going to use just a really big fluffy brush for this, and I want it like quite blown out, so in the outer corner I'm going to blend it almost like up towards my temple, but I know I have got to do my foundation and everything yet, so I'm going to get the kind of shape that I want, and then when I've done my foundation and set everything, then I can start working on really blowing it out. I'm blending this right up towards my brow. I want most of it sort of in the crease area, and then I like it when you can't really see where it starts and finishes, so as it kind of comes off my brush and I haven't got a lot on there, I'll bring it right up towards my brow, and then we're going to start to blend it right up to our temples. Also taking this all over the lid as well. I really like this look because it is quite easy to achieve, but it looks really effective. It looks like there's more effort gone into it than has really. And then the only other shade that I'm going to go in with is this one right here at the end. It's quite a nice sort of neutral brown. It's not too warm and it's not too cool. I'm going to have to go in with the same brush because I did something colourful the other day and all my brushes are like really bright and I just can't bother to clean them. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this just into my crease just to give a little bit of definition. It's not a super dark brown, more of like a medium brown, and I'm only using like a touch of it anyway, literally just in the crease, and that is it. Okay, and then I don't need that palette anymore. I'm only going to go in with one more product on the eyes, and that is my bronzer. So I'm just going to use this Makeup Revolution one. It's quite nice. This one's more of like a warm tone bronzer. I'm just going to clean it off my brush because I'm going to have to use the same one again. And I'm literally with this just going to buff over everything. So I'm just taking the powder, buffing it all over my lid, all over the crease, and then up towards my brow, giving it a really good buff over and up towards my brow again. Okay, and that is literally it for now. So now we can move on to eyeliner. So I'm going to do like a nice sort of smoky liner. The first thing that I am going to do, because the roots of my lashes are quite fair, I'm just going to line my top waterline first just to make my lashes look a little bit thicker. So for this I'm using the Barry M Bold Waterproof Eyeliner in brown. I really like this because it's quite a warm brown and it goes with the colour of my eyes quite well. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to use is just a black eyeliner. This is from Avon. I've had this for so long. Any black eyeliner will do the trick. So I'm just going to draw just like quite a thickish line all the way over. And I find this so much easier to do on other people than I do on myself. Okay, so you can see I haven't been neat there at all. So then to start smoking that out, I'm first going to go in with that dark brown there, just on a little pencil brush like that. And I'm going to pick up the bit of the shadow first, tap off the excess, and then just start going over the top of this liner. And I'm not winging the liner out or anything, I'm kind of just like tapering it out in the outer corner. It's so hard to do with just one eye open. So I want to kind of diffuse the black as much as possible. So I'm just going to kind of like keep blending it out so it looks like really diffused and soft. Okay, and then I'm going to take a bit more of the first one that we used, which was that one there, and then just do exactly the same. So it starts to look just really nice and smoky, and I'm still keeping it slightly thicker on the outer corner and then like going thinner to the inner corner. But yeah, I'm going to do the second eye, and with a look like this you want everything kind of just really diffused so you can't see like any harsh lines. You want everything to be like really nice and blown out. And it's also really nice to just do something a little bit different, because usually I would do like obviously a gold smoky eye, but I think like an all matte eye, like really blown out with really glowy skin, looks really nice. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. I'm going to just pop some mascara and lashes on. This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And then I'm just going to pop some lashes on, but I'm going to do them off camera. But I'm using these ones. They're like, I know they're definitely Girls with Attitude. I'll find what style they are, then I will put it in the description. But they're just nice. They're a bit more like rounder, a bit more wispy and a bit more fluttery, which I think will go nice with this. So I'm just going to apply these really quickly. Yeah, and then I'll be back. Okay, so those are my lashes on, and that's the eyes so far. I just absolutely love this. It's so easy, but it looks so effective at the same time. It's just nice and soft and smoky. Like if you want a smoky eye, you don't have to go like really dark. Like this is just pretty much using shades of like bronzer, and it looks so nice. So we're going to move on to skin now. Instagram models always have super glowy skin, so we want to achieve that as well. So for that I'm going to use the Barry M, the Liquid Chrome highlighter drops. Absolutely love these. I do prefer to mix it with a moisturiser and apply it that way rather than just applying it straight to the face. So I'm going to just use my daily moisturiser. This is the La Roche-Posay Intense Soothing Fluid for face and eyes. I am going to go for it a little bit with these, so I'm just going to give out, I've used like one pump of moisturiser, and then I'll use like the same amount in the chrome drops as well. And then to apply that, I'm just going to use this face brush from Real Techniques. So just mix them both together a little bit, and then get some on my brush. And I'll start at the high points first, but to be honest, I do just like apply this everywhere. Apart from under the very, very under eyes, I don't put any there. Don't worry too much about the brows. You can always go over and redo them. I have to do that every time, but I just feel like I can't do my eye makeup without. So it'll kind of look a little bit insane, but there is method to the madness. So for foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match. This might be a little bit dark for me, but I can blend it down onto my neck. Again, I forgot to fake tan before this video as usual. I'm also hoping that there's enough left in this because it's looking like there's not. I'm on like the very last bits. So I'm going to apply this with my beauty blender. So I'm just going to pop it on the skin first, just so it doesn't all soak up into my sponge. And then I'll just start patting that in. So I always go like from the centre outwards. And I know it's a little bit dark for me, but I'm going to do my neck as well. I hate not being tanned because all of my foundations are like for when I've tanned, because I usually do tan. So when I haven't, there's like no foundations that match my skin. I'm just gonna take like a big foundation brush and just buff some of this all over my neck. I think the L'Oreal True Match is one of my all-time favourite foundations. I've used this for like, it's got to be like over 10 years now, and it's still an amazing foundation. So you can see like under the foundation those Barry drops are coming through, which is lovely. So moving on to concealer, I'm going to use two different shades. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution concealer, and I know I use this all the time, but it is amazing. And if there is another drugstore product which is like just as good as this, then please let me know, because I'm always willing to try something new. So I've got C5 and C6. I'm going to use C5 just in my very inner corners, and then I'm going to use C6 with just a little bit like yellowier in tone to do like the rest. So I'll use C5 first and just get it on my face. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything with the under eyes yet. I kind of just want them to be quite soft as well, so I might just do a tiny little bit. That was way too much. Just a tiny bit of what do I need to say? Just a tiny bit of the shadow underneath. Oh my god. So now C6, and then I'll use this on the rest of my face to highlight as well. So it doesn't really matter that much if you do, like me, apply the wrong shade of foundation, because you can like counteract it with, I've got concealer on my lashes. Oh, that's it. You can counteract it with like a brighter concealer. So I'm going to do my chin, down my nose, and then just in the centre of my forehead. And I do like that to just kind of sit there for a little bit. You do get more coverage if it is like starting to set a little bit. So I'll just let that start to do its thing. So to start, I'm going to just blend out my chin. So then for my under eyes, I'm going to blend it out. See where I've winged out that shadow? I'm going to just try and just go underneath there. It doesn't matter if I go over it, because we can work on buffing it out after anyway. So I'm just really pressing this in, getting right into the inner corner. And then any excess that's left, I'll just buff right out, right up to my temple. See how it's kind of like created a sharper line? I am going to diffuse that a little bit because I don't want it to look sharp like a winged liner. Again, it'll look a bit sharper, but then we can work on buffing that out later on. So for contour slash bronzer, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Chestnut. I absolutely love using this for bronzer. I do prefer just to put it on the back of my hand first, because when you draw it on, it can like set quite quickly, and then it's really hard to blend out, which stresses me out. So I'm just going to work it into the back of my hand first, because again, you don't need too much, and it's always easier to work little by little rather than plastering it on and then struggling to blend it out. So I'm going to come down my contour, and then I do like to buff it like onto the cheeks as well, and then around the forehead, and then I'll just go underneath my chin a little bit with this, and then just a tiny bit on my nose, because we all know that I can't do nose contouring. And then just with my beauty blender, I'm just going to go all over that, just to make sure it's all blended before we set it in place. Okay, so that's how the foundation looks without setting it. I think it looks really nice, but we do need to just take the shine off, definitely down the centre of the face, and we need to set the under eyes anyway. So for that, I am going to use the RCMA No Colour Powder, and I'll just tap under my under eyes again. I'll set that area first, because that area always creases first anyway. So I'm not using a ton of powder, I just want to kind of take the shine off and make sure it's not going to move of my forehead. And then you can see like the rest of the skin still looks nice and glowy, which we like. I'm going to keep the skin like this and just apply bronzer over the top, because The Instagram models are always like super glowy, so we want to keep as much glow to this as we possibly can. So the first thing I am going to go in with is that same Makeup Revolution bronzer. This is like quite pigmented, so I just kind of press it in the pan and then just rub it off and then press it on. So because we are applying this over to wet foundation and contour, I'm pressing it on rather than rubbing it around because we don't want to start lifting up any of the product which we've applied. So I'm just going to run this down my cheeks, and you can see that glow still coming through from underneath. It's really pretty. Around my forehead, and then I'll also go down onto my neck as well, bronze that up a little bit. And then I'm also going to use my favourite bronzer of all time, which is the Milani Baked Bronzer. This is more of an illuminating one, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of that just onto my cheeks, like so. And then the only blush that I ever really wear is Milani's Luminoso, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of this. So now we can move back onto the eyes. So all I really want to do is just really softly buff out that line, because you can see it's gone quite sharp after we applied concealer, and I want everything to be just nice and flawless. So I'm going to first take that first eyeshadow that we used, and only like a small amount, and I'm just going to take it all over and then buff back into my temple. And then I don't really want to do too much on the under eyes. I think I'm just going to keep it like to the outer corner. So again on this side, just buff it out just so there's not like a harsh line. I like you to be able to see it, but I don't want it to look like I've winged it out, if you get what I mean. So I don't want it like to be a really sharp line. I want it to be quite subtle. So I'm going to use the exact same colour on the under eyes, and I'm just going to start on the outer corner, buff it underneath and then up into that eyeshadow. Again, so you can't really see where anything starts or finishes. And I really like doing this because it gives like a sultry, like smoky effect, but you're using like quite light coloured shadows, which is nice. And then I'll just do exactly the same with that same bronzer. Don't really want to go any darker, so I'm not going to use that other dark shadow that we used. So now we can move on to highlight, which is my favourite bar. Today I'm going to use the Doll Beauty Light Duo. I'm not sure which one's which in here, but I'm going to use the more golden one. So there's more of like a lighter one and a more gold one. I'm going to use that one. So I'm just going to really buff it into the skin and build it up so it's nice and highlighted. So mainly onto my cheeks. And then I do like to do like around my brow and like around my forehead as well. So it's kind of like a C shape. And I am bringing it down onto my cheeks a little bit as well, because I like when you smile and it looks a little bit shimmery. And then I am going to do just a little spot of highlight. This time I'm going to use the lightest one, just in my very inner corner. And then any excess just a little bit under my brow. Under my brow. And then for lips, I'm going to go for like a nice like nudie gloss. So I am going to line them first because I always overline my lips. So this is the Los Angeles lip liner from NYX. Okay, and then for gloss over the top, I'm going to use the Peaches and Cream Fudge lip gloss. I absolutely love this. And I'm going to use a lip brush to apply it. And then just over the centre of that, I'm going to apply a little bit of honey, which is from the same Peaches and Cream, just so it's a bit lighter in the centre. Okay guys, so that completes this Instagram model makeup tutorial using all drugstore and affordable products. I really hope you did enjoy it. Let me know if you did down in the comments below, and please give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!